world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel video, everybody. I'm so excited to have it all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the third episode of Loki. I forgot the name of the episode. It's kind of hard to say because it's basically a planet that we see in the episode, but let's get started talking about this episode. So really what I enjoyed about this episode is that it was just an enjoyable episode. I just thought that throughout the entire episode, I was just having fun. And what made it so fun was the relationship was just Loki and Sylvie. I just thought that they had some pretty good interactions together, and there was just a lot of funny moments with them as they were having all these funny bits, but also exploring like about their mothers and their different styles and stuff, and how these two Lokis are both different. So I thought that was kind of cool the way they explored that. How they explored Sylvie's character, how like her mom, she doesn't really remember much of her mom. We kind of explore how she's very different from the other Loki that we've been seeing for years. And it was just an enjoyable time. And of the episodes so far, I would say that this is the episode where I feel like the action sequences is where it gets better. Like, the first episode doesn't really have much action. The second episode, it has a bit of action, but it's not that good. But then this episode just has so much action. Well, not so much, but it has a good amount of action that is really good. So I thought that was a really good part of the episode. And I just wasn't expecting because of the stuff I didn't like about the first couple of episodes. But I will say this. Actually, I'll leave that when we get to the bad, or probably with my theories part. Oh, and also, I also like the special effects. I thought that the special effects in this film were handled very well. When they go to this apocalypse planet, which is the name of the title, I can't remember what it's called, like Lamentis or something. It technically, it's a masterpiece of technical, like, visual. Sorry, this mic is annoying because I'm having it on two books, and it keeps lighting, and it's hard to stay. There we go. But like the way that Lamentis works, the way it looks, it's just so beautifully stunning, and you know, it is kind of cool to see what the world looks like in 2077. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna look like that in the future, but this world is changing, and that's kind of why I'm liking Loki's show a little bit, because we get to see future worlds that we haven't seen before. We get to see worlds that are the future of this timeline, like years that come after 2021, which is just unbelievable to me, because if the timelines are like that in the future, because pretty much the future, like every time the future comes, I don't think that it's gonna be like the MCU. Granted, there's a possibility it could, but like an apocalypse happening where meteorites are destroying the Earth, that's not gonna happen. I mean, obviously it did happen like 1,000 years ago when the dinosaurs were wiped out, but the way like the trains look inside and the way all the stuff work, like, it looks nice. So it could look like that in the future, but this is just Marvel, so. But now let's move on to the bad. So the big problem with this episode is that, even though it was very enjoyable, that's really all it is. It's just an enjoyable episode. There's nothing big to it that they do. Now, obviously, the way they do the characters, of course, I like that. The way they kind of explore Sylvie and Loki, we explore more of them. but it doesn't, like, it's kind of like the episode 7 of WandaVision, where it gives you more questions than answers, and that's kind of what this episode did. It was just for enjoyment. It was just a popcorn episode. It wasn't meant to set up anything. It was just meant to be enjoyable. And that's where it leads into the thing I was going to say in my good part, but I wanted to leave it for this part. And I would say that of the episodes so far, this is my least favorite episode, because the first 2 episodes just do stuff so well with the storytelling and the way they kind of explore more parts of the TVA and the MCU. And then another problem I have is that the twist is, like, when they find out that the TVA are actually variants, but they're not actually like TVA, like the TVA isn't technically real. When the twist happens, I was like, it kind of makes sense, but then it doesn't, because these characters, because I was just having really a tough time getting used to these characters. Now, obviously, they look really cool, and I think in this episode they got involved in the action pretty cool. But, yeah. But I can't wait to see what they do in future episodes, how what happened in this episode affects the other episodes. And then I also heard that in this episode, they never told us this, but I heard somewhere that Loki is now bisexual, which technically I don't have a problem with. I would just assume that he would be like boyfriend and girlfriend with Sylvie, since technically she is Lady Loki, Sylvie, and Enchantress together, since she has enchantment inside of her. So that was nice. But that's really all the issues I have with the film, with the episode. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the episode. But before I give my score, be sure to tell me down below what were your thoughts on this episode, and are you excited for the next one? So let's get on with my scores. Okay, so the video is pretty much done, but we have one more thing to do before we end this video, and that is that is my theories video, so let's move on to the theories now. So one of my theories for this episode and the future of this show is that I'm starting to think that the ruler of the Timekeepers, like one of the Timekeepers, is Kang the Conqueror. Because if you don't know, Ravonna, the one that can only keep in touch with the Timekeepers, and the only one that's been able to talk to them, Kang the Conqueror, Ravonna is actually King the Conqueror's girlfriend in the comics. So if Kang the Conqueror is one of the Timekeepers, and Ravonna is one of the only people that can talk to the Timekeepers, then King the Conqueror is one of the Timekeepers. Another thing that I've also have a question for is, if the TVA were technically humans and had past lives, then what's gonna happen with them at the end of this series? Because I'm just worried about it. Like, I just don't know what's gonna happen with them. Like, after what happened in this episode, like, what is going to happen? Nothing happened to them, as I don't know. But what is going to happen to them? That's just my question. So that's really a lot of the theories I have. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram name is Marvel6. My TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my bio section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as my Instagram, Marvel_6_. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.